Today's topic is Erno Goldfinger. Erno Goldfinger was a Hungarian-born architect, furniture maker and toy designer well known for his designs across England. He was born on the 11th of September 1902, in Budapest, Hungary to a Jewish family. He completed his schooling in Hungary, before moving to Paris to study architecture. He began studying an architecture course at École des Beaux-Arts, under Leon Joursley, an architect and urban planner. In 1934, soon after marrying his wife Ursula Blackwell, Goldfinger moved to England while working for Paul and Marjorie Abbott, the well-known theoreticians and manufacturers of advanced children's toys. Whilst in London, he was invited to join the Modern Architectural Research Group, MARS, the British chapter of the Congrès International d'Architecture Moderne, CIAM. The MARS Group was an organization of architects, critics and academics, aiming to promote modernist architecture in Britain. Through Goldfinger's designs, he showcased how modern architecture could address modern architecture problems, through his integration of social housing with new, brutalist architectural designs. This showcased how architecture could unite to help improve social issues across England, and create a more united community after the Second World War. His participation in this organization opened up a network of architects and other experts, such as Le Corbusier, Walter Gropius and Morton Shand. The meaning of architecture for Goldfinger was also centered around integrating architecture and the occupants seamlessly, aiming to create spaces so well thought out, that people coexisted with the architecture. Goldfinger's focus was on the immediate experience of the user. He distanced himself from functionalist rationalism, though considered himself a rationalist, adhering to principles of structural rationalism grounded in precise measurement and reason. Trying to iron out every problem, he argued that planning in terms of flat, picture-plane compositions overlooked the volumetric and experiential aspects of architecture. His work, especially high-rise buildings, is conceived not from the viewpoint of someone looking up at them, but of someone looking out from within. Spatial sensation, suggesting new spatial and emotional possibilities, integrates vision, sound, smell, touch, and memory, what he terms being within. In Goldfinger's article, The Sensation of Space, he wrote, "When space is enclosed within the skill of an artist, when the purpose is to move, then the spatial sensation becomes spatial emotion and enclosed space becomes architecture." His spatial emotion theory is a user's subconscious and emotionally rooted response to architecture that is geographically and historically specific. While attention to technology and art was not unusual in his time, modernists like Le Corbusier also found inspiration in the machine aesthetic. Goldfinger designed a range of buildings across England between the 1930s and 1970s, from high-rise housing blocks, schools, offices and domestic housing. The very first building he designed in England was a residential building with 3 dwellings, one of which Goldfinger later moved into, No. 2 Willowhouse Road. In 1962, Goldfinger was commissioned to design a mixed-development social housing project by the London County Council. He designed the Balfron Tower, a 26-story brutalist structure, complete with 136 apartments. One of the main design features of this building was the lift shaft, located in a separate building to the side of the residence, with corridors connecting the two. A couple of years later, Goldfinger was commissioned to design the Trellick Tower, allowing him to improve on his design of the Balfron Tower. One of Goldfinger's most well-known works, the Trellick Tower, was completed in London in 1972. As the younger sister of the Balfron Tower, it expanded on Goldfinger's recent project and improved on his design. Standing 31 stories tall, with 217 flats, the Trellick Tower was Goldfinger's new and improved social housing design. Both the Balfron Tower and the Trellick Tower were commissioned in response to the need for social housing after the Second World War. After Goldfinger designed the Balfron Tower, he and his wife lived there for a couple of months, hosting regular dinner parties for residents so they could gain feedback on the design, and what residents liked and disliked. Families will spend most of their lives living in the flats I design. I must do everything possible to iron out any problems. While Goldfinger loved his design, stating, "I would like to live here permanently." I have found nothing that would make me alter any of my future designs. These flats are really my ideal of a perfect home. The main complaints came regarding the mechanical side of the building design, such as the addition of only 2 elevators. Goldfinger took the information he gained living in the Balfron Tower into his design of the Trellick Tower. Trellick Tower itself was split into 2 blocks, the main being the residential block, and the adjacent for services, connected by external walkways. The services block included the lifts, staircases and rubbish chutes. Locating this separate to the residential block ensured that the noise from the services did not disrupt the residents. The Trellick Tower was designed with a ground floor with a public plaza, commercial spaces and landscaped areas. This interaction with the street and community was important to the design intent of Goldfinger's tower. The idea of community-focused housing influenced Goldfinger, using the high-rise as a way of keeping the ground clear for children's play areas and amenities, therefore drawing people down to the ground floor, and creating a space for community. The Trellick Tower was designed with a single corridor system, compared to the double-loaded corridor arrangements commonly found in high-rise buildings at the time. This allowed for maximum cross-ventilation and natural light to reach every apartment. Each flat consisted of 2 stories, allowing for the entrance to be every 3rd floor. This spacing of entrances allowed for a reduced number of corridors, therefore allowing more space to be used for apartments. The Trellick Tower was designed with a reinforced concrete frame, which was a cost-effective choice for high-rise construction. At the time, a lot of prefabricated pieces were being used to aid in the speed of construction. Goldfinger instead used cast-in-place concrete, which allowed for a level of sculptural expressionism. The vertical load is held by 2 large cores, which allows for flexible interior layouts in each apartment. From the day that the building opened, crime and disorder plagued the building's reputation. From the lifts and electricals being flooded on Christmas Day, to many reports of assault and abuse, the building became a hub for crime, leading to many tenants leaving the building. Costly renovations were undertaken to try to improve the appeal of the building, but with little success. Goldfinger pointed the blame on the residents of the building, not his design, stating that the building was a work of pure geometry, beauty and the perfect arrangement of horizontal and vertical elements. The Trellick Tower was a prime example of how Goldfinger integrated architecture with the occupants of the building. By actually living in the Balfron Tower for a couple of weeks and gaining feedback, Goldfinger's focus on the immediate experience of the user is prominent. Elements such as the adjacent services block showcased how Goldfinger integrated spatial sensation into his design, ensuring everything, even the amount of sound, was considered in the user experience. Goldfinger's approach towards social housing aimed to create equalization amongst the community. Through his integration with occupants and architecture, Goldfinger shaped the architectural approach for social housing.